we're passionate about the Levitical priesthood and getting it together in the YirmeYah. That's how we're supposed to be passionate about building this nation. Come? Okay, so the next brother that's coming up is YirmeYah. He's going to be speaking on behalf of YirmeYah who couldn't make it. Okay? YirmeYah is over the Torah and Law Enforcement Department, and so YirmeYah is an officer in that department, so he's going to come up and speak on their behalf. Okay, YirmeYah?
Giving all praise to Abinah, Yahweh Shem Mashiach Yahushua. Let me get this scripture real quick, man. Right? This is Romans chapter 10. Romans chapter 10, verse 21.
The book of Romans chapter 10 and verse 21, and it reads, "But to Yahshua said, all day long have stretched forth my hands unto a disobedient and gainsaying people."
So the Most High is stretching forth his hand, right, concerning the government. We need you, brothers and sisters, to get involved in the government and help us fill some of these departments. Everybody want to know, what is the YirmeYah? What is your purpose? What is the reason for what you're doing, right? We want you, brothers and sisters, to get involved in these different departments. We have issues in the nation concerning the number one issue in the nation, whether you like it, love it, understand it, believe it or not, is marriage. That's the number one problem in the nation. You can't have no nation without marriage, without the family structure, right? So who do these families have to turn to? What if their leadership failed them? What if it's the brothers and sisters in their camp that are mistreating them? Where do they go? Who do they call on? Ghostbusters? Huh?
Bring it out.
So what we want to do is we want to create a system where we have a multitude of camps, schools, assemblies, bodies involved, where there's not one voice that's representing many, but there are many voices representing one idea, and that's the Torah and the keeping of these laws, statutes, and commandments. And this is what we want as a nation of people. So what we have done is we have reached into the governmental system to create different departments, to figure out how we can make an impact. You have brothers and sisters that commit grievous offenses in North Carolina. Then they get on their horse and they travel to Texas. They get on their horse and they travel to Chicago. There's no accountability. There's no records department. There's no account of what these people are doing. Somebody show up to your camp, you don't know who these people are. Brother, I've been in the troop 2 years. I'm looking for a gathering, brother. Come in your camp, totally destroy your camp, wipe your camp out, man. Because you don't know who these people are and where they came from.
Yes, sir.
But that former camp, if they had a place that which was a records department that say, hey, we had a problem with this sister. This sister left our camp. We don't know where she's gone to.
Right.
Then that camp that's in Chicago, or that camp that's in Ohio, call the records departments of the YirmeYah and say, hey, we have a sister that's looking to join our organization. Do you have any records on this sister? The records department say, yeah. She was just in North Carolina and totally destroyed the camp. Right? Slept with 3-4 brothers and then took tail and ran to LA. This is what we want to do. We want to create this infrastructure. This is what we want to do. And it requires everyone. We need your minds. We need your spirits. Because, no disrespect, but you elders getting old, man. Okay? Yeah, I'm looking at you, Elder Japon. You're getting up in age. Right. I'm just saying, Elder Ash, I'm talking to you too. The thing is this. We have to look to the next generation. Which one of you are going to get involved in the government. You have to set a standard for the next generation to come. What will be your legacy? How will you make a positive impact on your community? What will your children have to look to if you didn't build them nothing? You didn't take part in nothing. You didn't get involved. Read it again.
Bani Yasha'Allah, Mashallah, Yasha'Allah.
Salaki, read the scripture again. Read that scripture again.
No sweat. Top day for the prophet Zion. Romans chapter 10, verse 21. But to Yasha'Allah he said, all day long I have stretched forth my hand unto a disobedient and gainsaying people.
There we go, right? So what we want, family, is we want you to get involved. We want you brothers that are good at keeping records. You brothers that are good at taking notes. You brothers that are good at investigation. You brothers that are good at motivating and building up others. Right? We're gonna go through these departments now. And I'm gonna skim through them, but if you want further information, we have them. We have further information. You can look into this and say, hey, you know what, that department right there, I believe I can be a part of. And I can make an impact. And I want to make an impact because I want to be a part of something that's going to be there for my children when I'm gone. Who does my daughter get to call when she's been kicked out of a camp unjustly, or she's been separated or ostracized from an organization unfairly, right? Who does she call? What does she do? Right? We have no infrastructure as a nation of people. Everybody want to do what they want to do. Nobody want to be held accountable. I don't want to get involved because I'm going to be held accountable. Right? And I want to give honor to these men that are in the Officers' Council and the Elders. Why? Because we the first ones that got to yield to this correction, to this reproof. Because if we don't follow these orders and these structures, we correct each other. We hold each other what? Accountable. Right? To what? The Torah, the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Right? So I want to read these things to you guys. Start from the top.
All right, there are 9 offices: Banya, Yasha'Allah, Mashallah, Yasha'Allah, Torah Council, authority and objectives. First office, Torah. The Torah Council is established to support articles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
now, these articles that he's reading is what is found in the Articles of Belief, which is a set of standard that we all believe in that are outside of doctrinal confusion.
Right.
This is something that's a standard understanding, like what? We believe in the Mashiach Yahushua. Raise your hand, right?
That's right.
You believe in Yahushua? Okay. That's a standard across the board. If you don't believe in the Mashiach Yahushua, we don't want to have nothing to do with you anyway. Okay? These are the royal basics. Right? So these are the standards that we believe in. And it's constantly evolving, right? And Torah is going to be working with the Levitical priest concerning some of these departments that we're about to mention now, right? Read.
Its objective is to live, supervise, adjudicate, and teach Torah and Yahushua to Yasha'Allah decently and in order internationally.
Right? So now, we are expanding as a nation of people. I had a brother ask me, he came and said earlier, brother, we got Israelites in India, brother? I said, yeah, every month, every new moon, we have a new moon prayer meeting, and we have brothers from India, from Scandinavia, from the Caribbean islands, from South America, Sri Lanka, how you say it? Sri Lanka, how you say it? Right, y'all know that I'm trying to y'all know what I'm saying. I don't know what he said, but listen, we got brothers all over, all right? So the point is this, right? We want brothers that have the mindset and the spirit that want to travel. You go there with these set of rules. We teach you, and we're about to go into these departments, we teach you how to establish a camp. You know how many Negroes have picked up a Bible and said, we at camp, they don't know one thing about organizing men. They don't know how to build up brothers. They don't know nothing about correction and reproof. They don't know that when you bring the groups of people together, wives get jealous of each other, and children fight, brothers get jealous of each other. What do you do when those things happen? They don't have a clue because they've never been a leader. They woke up 5 seconds ago, and now they're saying, call me elder such and such. You understand? So why? This is the order and the structure that we're working on, family. This is what we want, right? We're going to get to that in this department this next. Go ahead.
The next office is called calendar.
Right? Calendar, go ahead.
The Calendar Council upholds Articles 5, 6, 7, and 11 of the Torah Articles of Belief.
This is the Articles of Belief, right? Go ahead.
Its objective is to develop, supervise, and teach the calendar for Yasharallah decently and in order internationally.
Now, this is something that is in direct conjunction with the Levitical order, right? Which is something that is constantly evolving and we're working on it. We don't have no shame in saying we're building something. It's not complete. We don't have no shame in that. What you should be saying is, how can I help? Right? That's the kind of spirit that you gotta have. But we in process of that, right? Right, Elder Lebanon? All right, go ahead.
The third office that we're requiring or recruiting for is enforcement.
Right.
The Enforcement Council upholds Articles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, and 11.
You want to know what those numbers are in the Articles of Belief? We have the Articles of Belief, which will be distributed, Elder Rod. Will be distributed at the next summit, right?
Yes.
The next summit, okay, come. We're going to make sure you get that so you can know and understand what it is, what are these numbers that we're talking about. And anybody that want to get involved in these departments, we got 3-4 hours of breakdowns that we want to get to. Desperately. All right, go ahead.
Its objective is to investigate and address.
And do what?
Investigate and address.
Investigate and address. Some of you brothers are good researchers, man. You need to be bringing your services to the nation so we can help people, right? A lot of you say, I don't want to get involved. That ain't none of my business. You have a sincere service that you're supposed to be giving to the nation of Israel to help somebody, man. Right? Read.
Its objective is to investigate and address offenses or breaches against the Torah Brotherhood Code of Ethics or the Torah Articles of Belief decently and in order internationally and without respect of person.
Right. I ordered a garment last week. I paid $275 and the brother didn't send me my garment. Who do you call? What do? You gotta call Esau? We can't solve a $275 garment problem. We can't solve that ourselves? Huh? The Bible says what? Blessed are the peacemakers. Right? If you want to fill out a grievancy form concerning that, the government will get involved. We're going to make those calls and make sure you get either your product or your money back. This is what our goal is. And whatever obstacles come that we have to face concerning that, we're willing to face them with you. Meaning what? You're not alone.
That's right.
Read.
The next office is dealing specifically with the Northern Kingdom. It's called the House of Israel. The House of Israel Council upholds Articles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 of the Articles of Belief. Its main objective is to reach and serve the 10 tribes of the House of Israel decently and in order internationally.
Let me make this extremely clear, really quickly. The so-called Christian church and Judaism cares not for the Northern Kingdom. No one is on the hunt for them. Who's looking for them? Nobody cares about them. It's all about Judah, Levi, Benjamin. What about the Northern Kingdom? Well, we got a department that's geared for that. If you are a Northern Kingdom brother, you should be getting involved in this department.
So, especially if you speak Spanish. Right. We need you for that international outreach.
Yeah, absolutely. You see? So what we're saying is we're reaching forth our hand. We want you all to get involved, man. Get involved. Right? Go ahead.
The next office is called Diplomacy. The Diplomacy Council upholds Articles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and 12 of the Torah Articles of Belief.
Right. Diplomacy is, let's say we got another camp that's in Houston, Texas. Right? We want to send a representative, right, to go and try to get them this information about the government, what we can do, how we can work together. What kind of brother should we send? A person that is operating in diplomacy. Someone who is trained in communication to be able to create an attractive conversation to build and bring brothers together. Come? Okay.
Its objective is to gather all bodies of Yasha'Allah decently and in order, internationally under Yahushua HaMashiach, and obedience to the Torah.
Go ahead.
The next office is called Diaspora. Its objective is to bring awareness of identity to Yasha'Allah decently and in order throughout the Brotherhood Code of Ethics, Royal Basics, and the Torah Articles of Belief internationally.
What is diaspora? This is the scattering of the children of Israel. Right now, and Karatazai God is my witness, we have brothers in Africa right now that wants to know about Hamashiach Yahushua. They want to know about the Torah. They want to know how do we create a Sabbath service? How do we orchestrate a Passover? How do we keep the High Holy Day? What should our women wear to service? What should the men wear? How should we behave? That's what diaspora is. We're supposed to have men in those departments to be able to interact with these brothers, to teach them and help build them up. Why? Because you care about more than those that are just in front of you. Read.
The next office is called Gates. Gates. The Gates Council uphold Articles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, 11, and 12 of the Torah Articles of Belief. Its objective is to confirm, verify, organize, and structure elders, judges, officers, and teachers within the city gates of all regional areas decently and in order.
What does that mean? Brother, we got a new camp organization. The camp just sprung up yesterday. Hey man, how many of you brothers have saw brothers street teaching in error? Doing things incorrect while street teaching. Right? They're being violent when they should be de-escalating. Right? They're being aggressive when they're supposed to be protecting someone. Right? They're being vulgar and vile. How many of you seen this? Now when someone types in Hebrew Israelites, that is what represents you. So this is what we do in the gates. We want to help develop brothers. We want to create street teaching classes. What is the proper way to street teach? What is the proper way to de-escalate? What is the proper way to protect? Right? How do we build up a camp? How do we start a school? I don't know. Right? How do we, we need building funds. How do we get building funds? How do we raise money for a school? What do we do when we have more sisters than we have brothers? Do we take the sisters out and let them read for us while street teaching? But my question is, family, how do they know? Who do they call to find out if that's okay? This is what this department is about.
Come. Accountability and recognition. The Accountability Council upholds Articles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, and 11 of the Torah Articles of Belief.
What's the name of this department?
This is called Accountability and Recognition.
Kazak, what's the name of this department?
Accountability.
Right. Right? My brother spoke on this earlier for those that made the Sabbath service. Right? This is actually my department. I'm in accountability. I'm in internal affairs. Get out of line, Negro, I'll be calling you. Not to say I'm special, but I want to serve my elders. My elders need help. They give an order, right? They say, hey man, we need you brothers to fill out these documents by next week, and it doesn't happen. Who do the elders contact? What is the punishment concerning a brother not doing his job? How do we deal with an unruly governing body? We are under orders. We are also under, we have to follow protocols. We're creating that. In the Office of Accountability, we want to assist the elders, right? We want to assist the officers, right? And we want to make sure the government is flowing smoothly, right? Smoothly. Meaning, you are doing your job. And if you're not, then maybe we need to get someone else in there that can do the job, because the greatest ability is availability. And a lot of times we have problems with, listen, we've been doing this 2014, right? Right? And if we built gradually, it took us time to get to this point, but we're at a very critical point now. It took us time. But one thing that I've noticed is a lack of consistency when it comes to attendance. So we want to get brothers in that understand that. They say, you know what? The greatest ability is availability, and I might just be at a critical moment or decision where my voice will lend some clarity to a situation that would not have been cleared up if I had not been there through the spiritual power of Yahweh Shema Mashiach Yahushua. Right? So, what are we saying? We want you to get involved. Right? Read.
Accountability. Its objective is to uphold public servants accountable to moral and biblical standards, both personal and professional, conducive to their office, decently and in order, and to recognize edifying examples.
Read on.
The last office is called the Executive Council.
Right.
The Executive Council upholds Articles 3, 4.
That's it on that. The Executive Council is sitting before you. Understand that, right? Aside from those that are missing, no disrespect to any elder that could not make it, right? So, this is Torah Law Enforcement in conjunction with everyone else in the YirmeYah Yashala. We are one body, we are one family, and we're going to continue to work together to make a positive impact on our nation.
All right, so that was YirmeYah of Torah Law Enforcement. Give us standing up a round of applause. All right, so the next department is going to come up. That's going to be the counseling department. Okay, we have Quarters Al-Abraham, who's going to speak in behalf of Elder Karash, who couldn't make it. Okay, concerning the counseling department. We're going to tell you all about it. Quarters Al-Abraham.
Shalom, shalom again, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys. Now, remember I told you about pride earlier in the Shabbat service. Now, when it comes to counseling, if your pride is there, you're not going to be able to be counseled. You won't allow yourself to be counseled. So you got to come at this with humility, wanting to understand that we'll make concise decisions based on Torah law. Now, if you subscribe to Torah law, then you gotta leave your pride at the door. This service, which is done by YirmeYah Yashala, me being Karada Salah Brahim, I represent HODC New York, the New York gate of HODC. Now, we understand